Hey everyone, welcome back to It Fits Designs. We're doing a DIY spring decor today. We made two bunnies and a swan. There's something that can be made very quickly and can be stored very nicely. You don't just have to use them for spring, you can use them for summer as well because we see bunnies all throughout spring and summer. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going through and I am cutting out my shapes, my bunny shapes and my swan from MDF using a scroll saw. So the scroll saw that I have, I actually bought off of Facebook Marketplace. It's used. It's a Dremel scroll saw. There are better scroll saws out there. Not that there's anything wrong with this one. It does the job just fine. But I go through and I cut the shapes out that I drew on the MDF, and it cuts through like it's butter because MDF is very soft. It's just a whole bunch of, sawdust kind of compacted together. So anyways, I go through and I cut my shapes and make sure not to get my fingers because it is a blade. It's a tiny blade, but it is a blade, so you just have to be a little careful, but it's very simple. If you do not have a scroll saw, you could use a skill saw for this. I think it would work just fine. Also, if you aren't all that great at drawing, I don't think you have to be great at drawing, by the way, to do just a silhouette. That's fairly simple. But you could print off an image that you like, and you could use some 3M adhesive spray or whatever adhesive spray you can get your hands on, and you can attach that to your MDF using that spray, and then go through and just follow the lines of the little printed page and cut your image out that way. You don't have to draw it. It's just what I like to do. I have used the 3M spray and I really like it. So for on things that are a little more intricate, I like to draw it out on a piece of paper and then use the 3M adhesive spray to stick it to the MDF, so that way it makes my life just a little bit easier. And there you go. We've got the bunnies and the swan all cut out. Now I'm going to go through with my Dremel and I'm going to shape my bunnies and my swan. It's fairly simple. You just kind of round off the edges and create what other little shapes you want. If you want one ear to look like it's further back, then you're going to take that down quite a bit. Not all the way, obviously. You can create just little dents and then smooth it out with sandpaper later on. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. I go through and I create the little, legs and the inside of the ear and stuff with the Dremel, and then I just go through with the sandpaper. I start with an 80 grit and then I go to 220. So I sand it and I get all the edges and the top of it smooth with the sandpaper. And you do want to make sure that you get the edges as well where it was cut, because it tends to be kind of fuzzy and you want to kind of get those fuzzies off. You'll still see them once you have primed, but it's not terrible. Now if you left it, it probably would be terrible. Plus MDF soaks up paint like crazy, and so you have to prime it, and then I personally go back through and I sand that primer and then prime it a second time just to be sure that, he doesn't look fuzzy, or she, or whatever you choose your bunny to be. So cute. It's just really up to you on how you want to do it, but you definitely want to make sure that you get rid of all the fuzzies and you have it as smooth as possible. I love swans. I think they're beautiful. I think I just love most birds. For the most part, I think birds are absolutely stunning. Um, I love the swan. It's so cute. So I go through and I just shape it just a little bit. I'm not like putting all the feathers in. You can if you want. You could use like different tools for the Dremel to create those feathers and to create the eye and the shape of the beak and stuff, because they kind of have that funky little bump right above their beak. I'm not sure what it is. Their nose, I don't know. I don't think birds have noses, but you know what I mean. So they have this like funky bump right above their beak. I didn't really put that in. I used paint to make it look that way, the best I could. But you really could go through and you could add as much detail as you want, or you could just do very little detail. And if you're super good at painting, you can go through and add that detail into your paint job, and that would look amazing. So here I am priming, and this is with, oh, what is it called? Yep, can't remember the name of the primer. I'll put it in the description. I usually use the white one because it sands better than the gray one, but I made a mistake with my white primer and I tried to spray it while it was still cold, and now it won't spray at all. So I used the gray, which takes forever to dry and is not very sandable. It gums up no matter how long you wait. I waited overnight to be able, it was like more than 8 hours, okay? And it was still gumming up on my sandpaper, but whatever, it's fine. It worked, it's okay. So I go through and I just really sand it smooth with some 220 grit sandpaper. And this is so that way whenever I put that final primer on there, everything just looks really smooth. There's no MDF showing, so the paint won't go on super funky. Okay, now we're to the fun part. We get to paint it and make it look the way we want it to. It was really hard to cover up this dark gray with, I was using chalk paint mixed with acrylic paint because I like the way chalk paint grabs a hold of stuff where acrylic paint just kind of slides around. So I just mixed them. I only had, well, I have like 4 colors of the chalk paint, but none of them are really what I needed aside from the white. So I mixed them together with the acrylic craft paint because I have a lot of colors in the acrylic craft paint. They're a lot cheaper to buy, as everyone knows. And so I just go through and I paint, and I did multiple layers because that gray, like I said, was very hard to cover. I used a white mixed with the gray to create kind of the shadows of the swan, where there were different, where the pronounced part is more of a white. The pieces like the other wing on the other side that you can kind of see on the top is going to be a little darker because it's a little further away, that kind of thing. And I just added just any kind of shadow wherever I could to make it look more real. And that is Dixie Belle chalk paint. I really like Dixie Belle chalk paint. I need to get a new white one because mine is not, I think I use cotton. Anyways, it's not, it's old. I need to get a new one. But I really love their chalk paint. It sticks very well. I have noticed that there is some transfer after it's dry if you don't use like a real strong clear coat. I've tried just waxing it, and it's like if something rubs against it, there's transfer. And that to me is very weird. Maybe it happens with a lot of paints. I don't know. But that's just something I've noticed. I really do like the paint, however. So hopefully that doesn't make you not want to use it. I really like it. It's good paint. And these bunnies turned out so cute. Oh my goodness, they're so adorable. I feel like I probably could have done a better job painting them, but I think they're so cute. I think they turned out just perfect, really. I mean, I could have added more detail, but I like the way they turned out. Might not be somebody else's style. You could go with just a full out, silhouette, like paint them a solid color, whatever color you like, green, blue, yellow, whatever. And just kind of add them to whatever you want to add them to. It's really up to you. You don't even have to paint any detail on them if you don't want to. Here I am painting that swan's beak. Oh, they're so beautiful. They are beautiful birds. So here's that little piece that's up above the beak. I don't know what it's called. Maybe somebody will know and they'll put it in the description or down in the comments, because I have no idea. Here I am clear coating them. Just use whatever clear coat you want, really, whatever you like. And then I put them on my entryway table because I thought they would be so cute right there. Oh, little bunnies. So cute. Then I got my swan down below, looking so pretty. I really like them, and I hope you did as well. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day.